Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this one I'm going to share with you 5 key points to help you level up your rope flow. Let's get into it. The first one I want to share with you is practicing the single-handed flows. So let's take it right back to the basics. Many of us, when we start rope flowing, we come away from the single-handed stuff, go into underhanded matadors, etc. But we could really benefit from taking it back to the single-handed stuff. So especially when it comes to the non-dominant side, for example. So very often our non-dominant side will be the thing that lets us down in our flow. It's not quite as developed as our dominant side. So one thing you can do is take the time to come back to your non-dominant side, train it in the single hand like this, come over to the other side. And there's a lot of things you can do. That you can also practice throws like that. And you'll notice a big difference from your non-dominant side to your dominant side. The mechanics will feel totally different. One thing you can do is use your dominant side to help inform the non-dominant side of how to move better. You'll be able to feel the position of your body, where it is as it performs that movement. Then what you can do, take it over to the non-dominant side, see how that feels and see how it translates, see what needs improving. Maybe you're tight in your lat. Maybe you need to rotate more at the end of the movement. Your body will essentially be your teacher and help you with that. So that point leads me on nicely to the next thing we're going to talk about, which is the rhythm and the pace at which we're flowing. So let's take it back to the underhand pattern that we've just been in. And as you can see, here I am in a nice simple 1 beat pattern, 1 beat on either side. So we've got options here. We can choose to do 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 pattern, for example. So 1, 1, 2. So have a go at this, practice this, or for example in overhand matador, we can mix this up. We can do 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. So try that. Or there's a variation called the paradiddle, where we can do, for example, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so have a go at that one as well. Just have a play around getting used to different rhythms when you're flowing. Likewise, what we can do to change the pace of our flow is to experiment from going from slow pace up to a fast pace in our freestyle flows, for example. So, you know, can be however you like to flow really. You can start off nice and slow here in the underhand and then become a little bit more explosive before then toning it down. Chuck a bowler in there and then explode and come back to the slow pace like that. So that's another thing you guys can try. And likewise with the rhythm, experiment with things like music whilst you're flowing. Experiment with matching the pace of the music, the beats and the rhythm of the music. Or you can use a metronome or another device like that. Set a metronome to whichever kind of pace you want to match in your flow and have a go at matching that and experiment with different workouts and exercises in that way. The next point I want to touch upon is one that I've actually covered in depth in another video. So make sure you have a look at that. It's on the cardinal laws. Now, the reason why I'm just mentioning this here for you to practice is because this is something which, once you master it, it will really level up your rope flow and just help you understand how everything links together. So a quick point I'll mention about it is to make sure that you're always traveling on that line. Imagine there's that line underneath you. You're facing north, for example, and the rope is always going to be traveling on that line. Let's say it's flicking the sand in that direction. You're going to essentially turn your body around the rope, turning 180 to get yourself into overhand. When you come into the transition patterns like drag and roll like this, you're turning 90 degrees and you're facing either east or west. So make sure you guys fully understand this and you'll be able to understand how all the rope flow patterns link together. It's going to help you with transitions and just really increase your bodily awareness, your spatial awareness, and take your rope flow to the next level. And the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is drilling moves in isolation before bringing them into the freestyle flow. I want to give you the example of the cheetah's tail. Let's say you've mastered the cheetah's tail as in itself, but you want to go the next step further and you want to then drill transitions into it, out of it, and how that's going to relate to your freestyle flow. So many of you might already know the cheetah's tail. It looks like this. Now it's all well and good if you've mastered this move, but if you can't transition into it and out of it into other patterns, then you know that can really get you stuck. So have a play around with coming out of it or coming into it, for example. Have a practice with that, or you can even transition out of it by going into the bowler, and that can set you up for many other different transitions. And this applies to all the different patterns that there is in rope flows, not just the cheetah's tail. There's transitions into and out of all the different patterns, so it's up to you to experiment and have a try and see what works for you. So practice the transitions, practice the moves in isolation, then go into your freestyle flow, and you'll find that everything will be a lot crisper and neater. Now the final point I want to talk to you about is integrating the whole body versus isolating the movement in the extremities of the body. Now I'll show you what I mean by that. If you observe how I perform this dragon roll here right now and see how much of my body is activated, and also when I do this ace, how much of my body is activated, or how little of my body I should say is activated doing that, compared to this dragon roll where I'm shifting my weight from left to right, I'm pivoting on the legs, I've got a bit of a bend in the knees, the shoulders are activating more, the rotation of the arms and my torso is also twisting more. And then when I go to do the ace, I wind up and release like that. You'll see as I come back here, I'm loading up that rear leg, and then I'm springing forward onto my lead leg over here. So that's just to illustrate to you the difference that it makes when you incorporate your whole body into a movement versus just here with not much engagement and no rotation. The body's not communicating very well with the rest of the body. It's less athletic, and it's not really going to help progress your rope flow to the next level if you're stuck in that way of moving all the time. Another example I'll give you, let's say we're doing overhand matador lunges. In fact, I'll show you this way. Now, when I lunge here, I'm going to be sliding my leg back as the rope is coming down. Now you've got this variation, for example, which is all well and good. My hands are a little bit, they could be doing more. My body could be a lot more engaged in this movement right here. So how can I generate more rotation in the body? Well, I need to bring my elbow across more to stretch that lat on my left hand side. So I'm going to be bringing my elbow across like that, dipping it down on that beat as the rope hits the floor, and also sliding my leg back a little bit further, bending my knee, protruding it forward a little bit more, and there we go. You see the difference there, how much more of my body is involved in that movement compared to just this version. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say with that, guys. What you need to be doing is thinking about how to get as much of your body communicating with the rest of it as you can. Incorporate all of your muscles into the pattern. And this is going to teach your brain to move in a different way, level up your flow to the next level. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you gained something from all of these points. Go and practice them, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.